I had built a decent life in the city, with a stable job and a loving girlfriend, Anna. We had been dating for 3 years, and things were going well enough that we were discussing moving in together. But my return home shattered my trust, my relationships, and my sense of security in ways I could never have anticipated. The day I returned, a warm hug. My father followed, clapping me on the back with a hearty laugh. "Look at you, city boy," he teased. Inside, the house was filled with the comforting aroma of my mother's cooking. Jake arrived shortly after, his usual confident swagger in full display. "Hey, big bro," he greeted, pulling me into a quick hug. "Long time no see." Anna arrived the next day, and my family welcomed her with open arms. She fit in perfectly, her warm smile and easygoing nature winning everyone over. For the first time in years, I felt like everything was falling into place. I had always had a complicated relationship with my younger brother, Jake. He was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong in the eyes of our parents. While I worked hard to achieve my goals, Jake seemed to glide through life effortlessly, charming everyone he met. Despite my misgivings about his flirtatious nature, I trusted him. After all, he was my brother. When I told my family about Anna and our plans for the future, they were ecstatic. My parents couldn't wait to meet her, and Jake seemed genuinely happy for me. Or so I thought. That weekend, I had to go out of town for work. I was a little nervous about leaving Anna behind, especially since she and Jake seemed to hit it off so well. But I trusted her, and I trusted him. I never imagined they would betray me. The work trip was supposed to be a straightforward conference, just a few days away. I kissed Anna goodbye, told her I'd be back soon, and headed out. The conference was informative, and I made some valuable connections, but I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling gnawing at me. I tried calling Anna each night, but she always seemed distracted, and Jake's voice occasionally echoed in the background. On the last night of the trip, I called Anna again. She answered after a few rings, sounding breathless. "Hey, Tom," she said, "everything okay?" "Yeah, everything's fine," I replied, trying to ignore the sinking feeling in my stomach. "Just wanted to check in. How's everything at home?" "Good, good," she answered quickly. "Jake and I have been hanging out a lot. He's been showing me around town. It's been fun." "That's great," I said, forcing a smile. "I'll be home tomorrow evening." "Can't wait to see you," she said, her voice softening. I returned home after a few days, eager to see Anna and share the details of my trip. But as soon as I walked through the door, I sensed something was off. Anna was distant, avoiding eye contact, and Jake was nowhere to be found. The air was thick with tension, and my gut told me something was terribly wrong. I tried to talk to Anna, but she brushed me off, claiming she was just tired. My instincts screamed at me, and in a moment of desperation, I checked her phone. I know, it wasn't the best move, but I needed to know what was going on. And there it was, staring back at me, explicit texts between Anna and Jake. My heart sank, and a wave of nausea washed over me. "How could you?" I confronted Anna, holding her phone in my shaking hand. "I trusted you. I trusted Jake." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Tom, I'm so sorry. It just happened. I didn't mean for it to go this far." "Didn't mean for it to go this far?" I echoed, incredulous. "You slept with my brother, Anna. How could you do this to me?" She broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. "I don't know, Tom. I'm so sorry. I messed up. I went to my parents, hoping they would support me and help me through this mess. But when I told them what happened, their reaction was shocking. They told me to calm down, that it was just a mistake, and that I shouldn't hold it against Jake. They even went as far as saying that Anna might not have been the right girl for me if she could be tempted so easily." "I can't believe you're saying this," I shouted, my voice trembling with anger and disbelief. "He betrayed me. She betrayed me." My mother reached out, trying to soothe me. "Tom, sweetie, we know you're hurt, but Jake is your brother. Family comes first. Maybe Anna wasn't the right person for you if she could be tempted." I looked at my father, hoping for a different response, but he just nodded in agreement. "Your mother is right, Tom. We need to keep the family together." "Keep the family together?" I repeated, feeling a cold wave of despair wash over me. "What about me? What about what I need?" "You're strong, Tom," my father said. "You'll get through this, but holding a grudge won't help anyone. The weeks following the revelation were some of the darkest of my life. I couldn't escape the sense of betrayal and loss. Anna tried to reach out, apologizing and begging for another chance, but I couldn't bring myself to forgive her. The trust was shattered beyond repair. I packed my things and moved out of my parents' house, leaving behind the life I had known. I found a small apartment on the other side of town and started rebuilding my life from scratch. It was lonely and painful, but I needed to distance myself from the toxicity that had poisoned my life. One night, I sat in my empty apartment, staring at the boxes I had yet to unpack. My phone buzzed with a message from Anna, another apology, another plea for forgiveness. I turned off my phone and buried my face in my hands, feeling the weight of my grief and anger pressing down on me. Desperate to escape the constant reminders of my broken relationships, I decided to move to a new city and start fresh. I found a therapist and began working on myself, trying to heal the deep wounds left by the betrayal. The pain was still there, but I was determined to move forward. My therapist, Dr. Mitchell, was a calm and understanding woman in her early 50s. She listened patiently as I poured out my story, tears streaming down my face. "It sounds like you've been through a lot," she said gently. "Betrayal by those we trust most is incredibly painful. How do I get past this?" I asked, my voice choked with emotion. "How do I move on when my own family took his side?" "It's going to take time," she replied, "but the first step is to focus on yourself. You need to rebuild your sense of self-worth and learn to trust again. It won't be easy, but it is possible." I nodded, feeling a glimmer of hope. For the first time in weeks, I felt like I had a path forward. One day, out of the blue, Jake called me. He wanted to apologize, to explain his side of the story. I wasn't sure I was ready to hear it, but I agreed to meet him. Sitting across from him at a coffee shop, I saw the guilt and regret in his eyes. He told me how sorry he was, that he never meant to hurt me. "Tom, I know I don't deserve your forgiveness," Jake began, his voice shaking. I messed up big time. I never wanted to hurt you." "Then why did you do it, Jake?" I asked, my voice raw with emotion. "Why did you betray me like that?" "I don't know," he admitted, tears streaming down his face. "I was stupid and selfish. I wasn't thinking. I don't know. I'm so sorry." We sat in silence for a few moments, the weight of his words hanging in the air. I could see the pain and regret in his eyes, and for the first time, I felt a flicker of empathy. It was a step towards closure, but it didn't erase the pain. I realized that forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. I felt a strange sense of relief. It wasn't over, but it was a start. I was finally taking control of my life again. As time went on, I found peace in my new life. I discovered new hobbies, traveled, and focused on my personal growth. I met people who valued and respected me, and slowly, I started to feel whole again. The scars were still there, but they were a part of my journey, a testament to my strength and resilience. I met new friends, people who appreciated me for who I was. I started dating again, cautiously at first, but gradually opening my heart. Each new relationship taught me more about myself and what I needed in a partner. I learned to set boundaries and to communicate my needs clearly. Healing was a slow and painful process. I threw myself into my work and started making new friends. Therapy helped me process my feelings and understand that the betrayal was not my fault. I learned to set boundaries and protect myself from toxic relationships. Dr. Mitchell was a constant source of support and guidance. "Remember, Tom," she would often say, "healing is not a linear process. There will be good days and bad days. But each step you take is a step towards a better future." I took her words to heart, reminding myself that it was okay to have setbacks. Each day, I focused on the positive steps I was taking, no matter how small they seemed. One evening, while unpacking in my new apartment, I came across an old photo album. Flipping through the pages, I saw pictures of my family and me, happier times before everything fell apart. It was bittersweet, but it reminded me that I had to keep going, that I deserved happiness and peace. I placed the photo album on a shelf, a reminder of where I came from and how far I had come. The pain was still there, but it was a part of my story, a testament to my strength and resilience. I was ready to embrace the future, whatever it held. So, what do you think? Should I try to reconcile with my family? Or am I better off keeping my distance? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've ever been in a similar situation, feel free to share your story. Remember, you're not alone, and there's a whole community here to support you. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And check out my other video on your left. Don't forget to subscribe for more crazy Reddit stories and personal experiences. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and stay awesome.